New at 10, the UMass-Amherst campus has become the newest epicenter for the contentious debate on Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A local media organization, education organization that is, recently rented out space on the campus to host a panel discussion about what they call Palestinian human rights abuses perpetrated by the Israeli government. The panel has caused an uproar among Jewish communities across the country. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live now to tell you more about it with us in the studio tonight. Audrey.
Yeah, Dave, the panel event was supposed to be held this Saturday, but now an attorney representing 3 anonymous students on campus has filed a lawsuit trying to get the event shut down. The claim is that the panel is making Jewish students on campus feel uncomfortable. I spoke with those on both sides of the issue tonight.
Our priority is to make sure that there's the freedom of our group to organize an event where we can talk about Palestine.
Anna Ben-Hur is a UMass-Amherst sophomore and member of Students for Justice in Palestine. She insists the panel event set for Saturday does not have an anti-Semitic agenda. She says this from a unique perspective.
I feel responsible as a Jewish person because of my values as a Jew and also just as a person who cares about politics to stand up for human rights.
Ben-Hur says the panel isn't meant to criticize the Jewish community, but highlight the voices of those standing up for Palestine.
Writers and intellectuals who all have experienced in some way censorship around talking about Israel-Palestine. We're just here to talk about how free speech can be limited in that way, which is kind of ironic considering the backlash that we've gotten for it.
That backlash comes from an attorney representing 3 students on campus who's filed a lawsuit to stop the event. Those student plaintiffs are anonymous. But Asaf Elroy, an employee with UMass Hillel, tells Western Mass News Jewish students on campus feel the panel paints Israel in an unfair light, saying, quote, "The divisive message of the event perpetuates conflict and amplifies polarization through a one-dimensional dogmatic narrative of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict." UMass-Amherst also responding, saying that events hosted by outside organizations don't inherently represent their values, but rather it is an endorsement of the exploration of complex and sometimes difficult topics. Promoting the free exchange of ideas is one of the most important functions of the university. But the Media Education Foundation, the group hosting the panel on campus, is run by a UMass-Amherst communications professor, which Elroy says is a reflection on the school's interests. It's a sentiment shared by various outside groups on social media. Has most of the backlash been from people within the UMass-Amherst community or from outside of the UMass-Amherst community?
The first sort of response that we got was a letter from a bunch of organizations calling on the event to be canceled, and they were mostly non-academic groups. They were organizations from around the country.
A judge in Suffolk Superior Court will hear the case on Thursday. Reporting live in studio, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.